Hi BookTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I am coming to you with my June 2022 wrap-up and stats video. So in this video I'm going to go through all of my stats for the month. I keep a lot of statistics and stuff with my reading on various spreadsheets in case you're new to my channel. I usually try and do these every month. I missed last month for whatever reason. But we're jumping back in this month to do my wrap up. So I go through all kinds of fun reading stats that I keep track of, and then I share with you guys my top 5 books of the month. So let's jump in and get started. So in the month of June, I finished 20 books. Not too shabby. Very happy with that number. As per my Goodreads goal, I am 37 books ahead of schedule. I've read 111 books this year out of the 150 that I challenged myself to read. I'm at 74%. I mean, I could probably finish this in the next couple of months. I did debate on upping or increasing my goal for the year, but decided not to do that and just going to leave it where it is, and let's see where we lie at the end of the year. So in terms of star rating, I read 2 3-star books, 6 3.5-star books, 7 4-star books, 2 4.5-star books, and 2 5-star books. So I had 2 5-star reads this month. That's fantastic. Now my average star rating for the month was 3.70, which is actually down from the last time that I looked at this amount, and that was back in April when I had this statistic. No, it would have been for May, my May was 3.84. In terms of the genres that I read, 6 contemporary romances, no surprise there to anybody, 2 cozy mysteries, 2 women's fiction, 2 romantic suspense, 2 thrillers, 2 mystery, and 1 historical fiction, a middle grade fiction, a YA contemporary, and a fantasy romance. I like to keep track of the category romance books that I read every month, aka the Harlequin books, because my goal is to read more of those, because overwhelmingly they are probably at least half of the books that are on my TBR, so I need to get more of those read. So in the month of June, 25% of what I read was category romance. I read 2 special editions, an intrigue, a romantic suspense, and a presents novel. I'm very much hoping to increase that number in July for various reasons. In terms of age range of the books that I read, 17 books were geared towards an adult audience, 2 were YA, and 1, of course, was a middle grade. The YA and middle grade, of course, were my Nancy Drew, Sweet Valley High, Babysitters Club books that I read every month. For years that the books were originally published, 1 book from the 1940s, which was the Nancy Drew, a book from the 1980s, which was the Sweet Valley High, a book from the 1990s, which was the Babysitters Club, 2 books that were published in 2010, or in the 2010s, 3 books published in 2020, 4 books published in 2021, and 8 books published this year in 2022. So that's pretty good. In terms of how I consume the books, 12 of them were audiobooks and 8 of them were ebooks. All 20 of the books that I read were full-length novels. The series information. So 18 of the books that I read were part of a series. 2 of them were standalone. Of those 18 books that were part of a series, 5 of them were new series I started, and 13 were part of ongoing series. So that's good. I read a grand total of 6,026 pages in the month of June. Works out to about 201 pages per day. So not too shabby there. So some random fun statistics, not even statistics, but just facts that I like to have here. So my highest rated book on Goodreads, so if you look at all the books on Goodreads that I read, the highest rated for the other members on Goodreads was Love Off the Leash by the great Tara Taylor Quinn. This book has an average star rating of 4.50 stars on Goodreads. I gave it 4 stars and I really did enjoy it. The lowest rated book on Goodreads, it usually tends to be a Sweet Valley High or a Babysitter's Club. I don't know whether that's adults reading them now, the nostalgia might not hold up. And That Was Too Good to Be True by Francine Pascal has an average star rating of 3.44 stars. I gave it 3 stars. So I didn't hate it, I didn't love it. The longest book I read in terms of page count was The Summer Seekers by Sarah Morgan. It came in at 400 pages, the edition that I read anyway. And in case you guys are curious, for the page counts, like when it comes to audiobooks, I always take the Kindle edition page count, just for future reference. So it was The Summer Seekers by Sarah Morgan, and the shortest book that I read was Jessie's Horrible Prank by Ann M. Martin, one of the Babysitters Club books, and that came in at 136 pages. So let's get into my top 5 reads of the month. So as I like to say, these go from least most favorite to most favorite, because these are my top 5 books. These are the ones that I think you guys should definitely check out. So coming in spot number 5 is The Sweetest Thing by Sasha Summers. I gave this book 4 stars. This was so cute. I was lucky enough to be able to interview Sasha here on the channel a couple weeks ago. She's an absolute delight. This book was fantastic. The story of Tansy and Dane, and they both work at, they're beekeepers at their family's like beekeeping farms, and they have a hate to love romance, and there's a lot of stuff about siblings and beekeeping and all these wonderful things in this book. Check this one out. I absolutely adored it. Coming in spot number 4 was The Summer Seekers by Sarah Morgan. This one I gave 4.5 stars to. I really liked this book a lot. This one deals with a woman in her 80s who decides she wants one last epic road trip, and she hires this girl, this 25-year-old girl, to drive her across America on Route 66. So we're dealing with her, with the woman who's driving her, along with the woman's daughter, who's kind of going through her own things right now. Wonderful story. Absolutely loved it. Next up in spot number 3, The Summer Deal by Jill Shalvis, which I gave 4.5 stars to as well. This is the 5th book in the Wildstone series, but you can absolutely read this book out of order. It deals with 2 women who knew each other when they were younger, didn't particularly get along. There is a family secret in there. The one girl, sorry, I gave away the spoiler right there. They do find out later on. You actually find it out pretty early in the book that they are sisters, half-sisters. They share the same father. They don't know that, though. They've never known that, and now as adults they find out. And the one sister is dying because she has kidney disease. She's on dialysis, and there's a whole thing about asking the other one to see if she's a donor match, and it's how the 2 of them get along. There's some romance in there as well. It's Jill Shalvis. You can't go wrong with a Jill Shalvis novel. Coming in spot number 2 was The Heart-Shaped Murders by Denise N. Wheatley. I gave this book 5 stars. I've talked a lot about this book on my channel. A couple weeks ago, I put up my Harlequin Anticipated Reads vlog where I read this book and gushed on it. It is a great romantic suspense novel. It's a Harlequin intrigue, and it deals with a serial killer and this woman being stalked by this serial killer, and just give it a read. It was so good. And coming in spot number 1 for the month was Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. This book I gave 5 stars to. I absolutely loved it. It is a female romance about 2 women who knew each other when they were younger, didn't get along, and then the one girl, Delilah, comes back to town because her sister Astrid is getting married, and she is going to be the photographer, and she runs into Claire, who is our other female lead, and, you know, sparks fly. It is adorable. I love the friendship aspect in this story along with the romance. Please give this one a shot. It was absolutely fantastic. So anyway, guys, that is all that I have for today's video. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments below what was your favorite book that you read in the month of June. And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.